We good? All right. Thank y'all for being here. Good win. Proud of our staff, proud of our players, how we responded. Obviously, last week didn't go the way we wanted to. Playing a very talented Texas team who continues to compete. I want to make sure. I think those guys, even through that losing streak, they've continued to compete, and I think that's a good reflection on that staff and what Sark's doing there. But a really good win for us. Gets us to 5, keeps us alive for another week, and puts extra meaning on that game when we travel to Lawrence next Saturday. I want to thank the fans. People use their tickets. I think the thing gets overlooked is, we don't have any school next week. There's no school. I think the dorms are closed. For our students to show up and participate, I really thank them. The fans were a factor in the game, and it matters, and I can't emphasize that enough. We had a ton of recruits here. We got some official visitors here. I think we got 3 official visits. We probably have 20-plus recruits that have offers that were here, and it's the atmosphere matters, and I think that's something that I want our fans to understand, because they are a factor. So when they show up and they're loud, and at the end of the game, it is a factor. At senior day, I'm proud of those guys. It's really an emotional day. Y'all heard me say that on the radio show probably. It's hard to walk out there and then turn around and play. And I wouldn't take a whole lot of credence in who walked and who didn't walk, just for the fact is I didn't see them make a big deal out of it. If they wanted to walk, they walked. If they didn't, I would say that some of the guys that walked will come back. Some of the guys that didn't walk, and I don't know, they may or may not come back. I have no idea. But I left it up to them. But it's kind of a weird time for a senior day, because guys that made their decision, I didn't think it was it wasn't worth pushing them. We're going to play through the regular season and hopefully a bowl game and make decisions after that. So I also want to recognize the Orange Bowl team that came back and was recognized today. Our team really enjoyed that. We kind of went back to that game and talked about that game and the significance of that game in our history, and watched highlights of it. And this is the first group that's came back to recognize that our guys were actually aware. They're old enough and aware to really know the pieces of that and recognize the score. And so that was good. It was really good to see those guys. I know they have a sense of pride here, so to be able to beat Texas and beat those guys with those guys in attendance was meaningful. It was clean football today. And that's the thing that really was disappointing to me a week ago, is we just didn't play clean football. And Kansas State did. Well, today, this was a clean football game by us. If you look at it, starting with offense, go 87 plays with 0 turnovers. Ran the ball effectively. I thought we had some huge plays on 3rd and 4th down. Like Jared Dagey and our receivers made some huge plays on 3rd and 4th down, especially in the second half. Red zone touchdowns. We scored in the red zone. I thought defensively, we're running on fumes a little bit. We're down. We got St. McLeod played every snap today as a true freshman. Scotty Young, we played a dime package the whole game, and it hurt us against the run. But we did a great job not allowing explosive plays, and we finished the game. That's something we haven't done, but a couple times on defense, though, we finished the game. 4th and 6, we get a pick, and then we don't allow them to move the ball right there on that last drive. So really proud of how those guys, even though we've had some injuries over there, how they responded and competed. And then special teams. Field goal was big that Casey Legg made there in the second half. Thought our punt and kickoff teams were much better than they were a week ago. And we fielded all our kicks. And so we didn't do anything maybe exceptional to win in that phase, but we didn't do anything that hurt us in that phase, and that's important, because if you look at our losses, especially the last 2, that hasn't been the case. So a lot of respect for that group over there. They're talented, but a really, really solid win for the Mountaineers. So with that, questions?
So when we talked to you at Kansas State, that's about as down as we've seen you. So just recharging emotions from coaches and players through the last week, how'd you achieve that?
Well, I think it's just, what we talked about was it's never too late. It's never too late to play quality football. Now, what I told them, hey, the time's running thin. It's running thin, but it's not too late. And I knew we had it in us. And for me, like the whole goal today was quality football. And I truly believe if you handle the processes right, the preparation right, okay, then the results, okay, will take care of themselves. You can't be results oriented. If you're results oriented, you're going to be disappointed a lot. And so we just went back and made sure we were clearly defining what our expectations are, all right, in all three phases, and what was going to be acceptable and what are non-negotiables for us, okay, in each of the phases, and that's what we focused on, all right. And then we went back and said, okay, well, how do you build confidence? To me, you know the plan, you know your opponent. So we really did the things that allowed us to be successful, some of the things that we're the best at, all right, and we kind of shrunk some things down offensively and made sure we got repetitions. We did a really good job. I think the players, to their credit, did a really good job of studying Texas in all three phases and knowing tendencies. And the coaches did a nice job as well. But that's how we did it. You know, that's how we did it. And now we got to do it another week. You know, we got to be consistent. You know, one game doesn't do it. I thought we played consistent football today, clean football, but we got to do it back to back.
Jared, on the final touchdown drive, gets sacked twice inside the 10-yard line, I think, or 15, and then just his resilience comes back, leads him down the field, throws a touchdown pass.
Yeah, well, he's a Texas kid, so this one was a factor, and the fact that his brother probably didn't beat Texas was a factor too. You know, he's trying to outdo his older brother. But no, I did. You know, we had some negative plays, and we were able to overcome those. You know, we had some third and longs that we converted that we really, you know, we've been kind of hot and cold on third and longs this year, but he did. I thought he did a nice job. He was really accurate. He didn't put the ball in jeopardy today. I thought he kept some plays alive with his feet. And our receivers made some contested catches as well.
The expectations you said you had with the defensive limitations you obviously have with personnel. How did you coach that this week? Did you tell them, hey, we know they may run it on us some, you've got to do X, Y, Z in order for us to be successful?
You know, the scary thing about those guys is they're really good. Sark does a really good job of scheming explosive plays. And they got guys that can run. You know, Washington and Worthy special. And then number 7 that plays for him has got electric speed. So our old plan, we dropped 8 probably more than we have at any point this season, and we were intentional about keeping the ball in front of us. And we knew they were going to be able to run the ball some. All right, and we felt like if we could just keep the ball down, they hit a couple explosives on us, one for a touchdown. But we felt like if we could keep it in front of us, we'd have a chance and make them take their time and methodically go down the field rather than hit a big one. They hit one, you know, Worthy got behind us on one. But other than that, we were able to do that in the pass game.
You're on a lot of capable field goal work playing on your final fourth down play there.
No, not really, because the field goal, what you do is you bring a block into the equation, and our protection had some issues during the deal. You run the ball, it really doesn't help you time-wise, and it was like 4th and 6. The punt, again, you know, we got the punt block. They've already blocked 4 punts, so really not. What we did is I knew they were going to play, or I didn't know it, you know, but I felt like they were going to play for the run. And so what we did is we called a play that was going to be a touchdown or incompletion, and felt good about it. And it was close. We had a chance, you know. And you get in those situations, we were able to run it down. I think they had 35 seconds to go, and they had a long way to go. They had to score a touchdown in a 2-point conversion. We didn't want to do anything on that 4th down play, punt, field goal, or putting in a quick game, something to put the ball in jeopardy.
Your own run game, how important was it? You may not have gotten huge yards, but you kept pounding away and kept them honest.
Persistence, probably the good. Persistent. Struggled with it early, you know, and then we got into a rhythm, you know, probably sometime in the second quarter, and they played us a little different. You know, they played us a little different and with a lot more 4-down looks than what we've seen on video. Thought we ran hard. We did a good job covering them up. You know, but it was a hard-earned 158 yards, and Letty did a nice job. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, but he picked up, and I thought it was good for his last home game to have success that he did.
Outside of Oklahoma State, offensive line continue to gel?
Yeah, we're getting better. We need another off season altogether and be able to play stronger. And but they have. You know, Oklahoma State got after us, but if you look at Oklahoma State, they've gotten after a lot of people. But since the bye week, our offensive line has played much improved.
Can you just talk about, you mentioned Scotty obviously playing linebacker. He was in the defensive backfield some, I think, on, you know, pass sets, obviously. So how much shuffling did he have to do? Did you do with the rest of the personnel, and how tough was that today?
Well, he's a smart football player, and he knows about 5 positions in our defense. And, you know, over the course of the bowl game and this season, he's played all 5. St. McLeod's a guy that we kept seeing coming. He made a couple plays on special teams, and then we had some injuries. Charles Woods didn't play today. and we felt confident playing him. And I really do. I like his upside as a player. He runs well. He's physical. He's got a good demeanor. You know what I mean? He was a little bit nervous about starting, but you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it. And he's a really good tackler. He gets his body in good position because he's a good athlete. And I thought he played well too.
You talked about that Dom defense against their run. Were you worried that it would hold up? I mean, they're massive up front.
Yeah, well, what we did is we knew they were going to get some double teams. And so Arkansas had used a 3-man front, drop 8. Iowa State obviously does quite a bit. And both of those teams had success. And we just thought they gave us the best opportunity. You know, we really did. We knew they were going to have some run game. We knew this wasn't going to be a game where we were going to limit them to under 100 yards. But we felt like if we could keep 8 eyes on the running backs and we'd be able to tackle them for 4 and 5 and make them be patient. And like I said, the biggest concern we had was the explosive pass plays.
Coach, what can you say about Sean and how he stepped up in the fourth quarter there, picking up?
Sean Mahone.
Yeah, and what do
you know, I think, first of all, he made a really good decision to come back. You know, I think that's the thing when I think about him. And I was telling a couple guys that this week is, you know, he came back. He's played his best football. He kind of moved from maybe an off the radar NFL guy where he's got one of the All-Star game invites so he'll play in one of the postseason All-Star games. He's a guy that definitely increased his stock with NFL scouts. He's put himself in a position to win the William Campbell Trophy, which is incredible. What a great honor. You know, he's been academic All-American, you know, all those type of things. And so, you know, we got him in that 4th down, and we needed to play. We were able to get some pressure on that play as well, and the ball was thrown to him. He had a good run after the catch, too. You know, I'll give him a little credit on that.
Okay, anything else for Coach?
Okay. All right, thank you all.
Thanks, Coach.